When you arrive at the warehouse in the morning, your display will look like this. It will be completely covered with sheets from the reps that did the clothes the night before. So what you want to do, first thing you want to do is make sure your booth is ready to go when those doors lift, okay? And a lot of warehouses are going to open early, even 5 or 10 minutes. So it's very important that you look as ready as possible. So the first thing you do is begin by carefully, did I stress that? Carefully removing the sheets from the display, okay? You want to make sure you don't make a big mess and knock jewelry over everywhere, because I've done it. It does happen. So be very careful. And also, you want to make sure you don't make a big mess of the sheets, because even though the display is covered with sheets, at least if they're sort of not wrinkled, that would be a good thing. So simply fold them and put them in their appropriate storage area underneath the booth. And then you're going to place all of the items that were taken off the top of the risers back. So really you're going to be restaging and reformatting the display. And this is your opportunity to do any tweaking or any fill-ins. If there's some earrings maybe that sold late last night that need to be replaced, any empty busts, you're going to go into your gray tote, your back stock, or if it's Friday opening morning, you're going to check with receiving to see if your refill box is here and been sent yet. Also importantly too is this earring rack. Be very careful. Make sure you don't want to tip it over and all the earrings go flying. I've done that too, so there you go. Placing that on top of a riser. You're going to want to turn your lamps on and make sure those are in good working condition. And really just getting set for your day and making sure the booth looks as full and as welcoming as possible to the Costco members. It's very important when you start your day that you're ready to write up orders immediately, because as soon as those doors at Costco come open, you've got members and potential customers immediately at your booth. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a pad of pickup slips. They look very similar to this in different parts of the country. Costco has different types of slips printed, but they're all going to be about this size. And what you're going to want to do is number the upper right-hand corner of your slips. So get a pad, number them 1 through 30. This is already numbered number 4, got number 5, number 6. And this is going to be a way for you to stay organized when you have multiple customers with multiple items to be picked up. Because the worst thing you can do is give the wrong jewelry to the wrong customer. Because that means you didn't make one mistake, you made 2. And that's a problem. So you want to be very organized. So you're going to number your pickup slips. I normally start 1 through 30. Being optimistic that I'm going to sell 30 items during my shift. I number them in the upper right hand corner. Additionally, this is called your Roadshow stamper. That says Roadshow, please slip print. You also want to stamp each of your pickup slips. Oops, this one's upside down. What this does, it allows the cashier at Costco to realize, oh, this is from a roadshow, because these pickup slips are used for multiple items throughout the warehouse, from the large appliances to electronics to the fine jewelry that's in the jewelry case. And some of these items for pickup are going to be in the locked area at Costco. So you want to save everyone time, effort, and energy by letting the cashier know it's from a roadshow and that they need to send a runner back to pick the item up. Additionally, this is going to be what you're going to actually hand the member. Once you fill this out and you've made your sale, you're going to hand this to the Costco member and say, keep this with your Costco card. And then when you're at the register for checkout, give this to the cashier first so they can ring it up and get a runner started on the way back to pick up your item. So it's a great way to start your day. An additional way to give you a little bit more time when you're actually selling to the members is to get some boxes and bags folded and pre-set up, ready to go. I might do like 10 or 12 of these pillow boxes. I'll keep the top open so I can slide the jewelry in easily, but I'll assemble the bottom. That does save me a little bit of time. I might even go so far as to preload my cello bags with insert cards. I'll probably do 10 or 12 of these as well. Okay, I'll do 10 or 12 of these and I'll stack them up. That way when I'm ready and I've made my sale, I can quickly wrap up my item in tissue, drop it in my box that's already halfway put together, drop it in my bag that's already got my insert card in it, put my twist tie on it, put my corresponding post-it note with corresponding number on the outside, and I'm ready to go. This saves me a lot of time because time is very, very important when you've got members around the booth. You don't want to be behind the booth. You want to be out front working with them. So being organized and getting in early in the morning and making sure your booth is ready to go is the key to success. It's very important that you keep the booth looking neat and full of product at all times. So even in your checkout area, you just want to make sure you keep everything organized and neat so it's not like a big mess. And that can easily happen if you're really busy or slammed at the booth, and trust me, I hope you are. But Costco likes to keep a clean house, so you do the same behind the booth, keeping everything organized. It's also very important to make sure that you refill the jewelry as you're selling it, okay? Because the last thing you want to have are empty busts, because when a member comes up to a display, you want it to look full and exciting and appealing to them, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to buy a piece of this gorgeous jewelry. So every time you sell something, you want to replace it. And in your training manual, you'll have the planogram that shows which items of jewelry, according to our color block or style planogram, go where. And you're going to find all your backstock jewelry in what we call the gray totes. It's going to be underneath your booth. Ta-da! Gray tote. And your gray totes basically contain all of the backstock that you're going to need to refill your booth as you sell through during your show. We've even gone so far as to label all of the backstock into sections to make your life easier so you can understand which area to refill jewelry from. So if you've sold something off of the front tower, that's tower number 1, which is primarily reds, which, by the way, that's our best-selling color. You're going to pull out whatever jewelry you have in backstock, and hopefully you'll have the exact same piece, and you can replace that exact same piece, okay? But if you don't have the same exact piece in backstock, don't panic, that's okay. Just find something that's the same color, okay? So try to replace it with something else that's red. And it's okay to have a couple of the same item out there. Just don't put them right next to each other on the riser tower, but you can put them near each other, and that's okay. But make sure you have full busts. That's really, really key and really, really important. Another thing that you want to make sure that you do is typically on the morning that your show opens, a Friday, you're going to be instructed by your manager to go either back to receiving or sometimes in the front of the warehouse this will be delivered. I call this the goodie box, but it's your refill box. It's going to look something like this. It's very important that you open the box up and go through it because you're going to have all sorts of fun new jewelry in here that you're either going to add to your booth display if you need to, or take some of this jewelry and you're going to have to allocate it here according to riser tower into your backstock. So it's very important that you make sure you go through this because you might have some really cool pieces in here that sold at the last show and that now we're replenishing for you. Okay? So that's your refill box. And then finally, I wanted to demonstrate to you how you're going to close the booth at night. And it's very important that you begin by taking the things that are tall off the tops of the risers so they don't tip over when you cover them with sheets. Usually I just take off the very top item, such as this. Earring racks always come down because these are no fun to have to put back together when all the earrings spill off. Trust me, I've done it. I normally put those behind. And then I find my cover sheets. These can come in a variety of colors, so you'll find them in your setup. And simply and carefully cover the display. You want to make sure that both sides of the display are covered to prevent dust from accumulating on the busts. It's that simple.